What's a perfect game sequel? Is it a game which changes the original idea, aiming to revolutionize the franchise with significant changes? Or a game which improves the original gameplay by adding more mechanics to expand upon the established formula? Well, I'm a fan of both, and one franchise which applies these two concepts perfectly is God of War. Since I played and got the platinum for the original God of War game recently, the other game in the collection box kept on calling me to get that second shining platinum. So here we are, playing God of War 2 and getting all them trophies. Before moving ahead with the gameplay, I quickly went to the trusty trophy guide page to check out that trophy list. Well folks, this game has a total of 35 trophies, of which there are 18 bronze, 11 silver, 5 gold and that shining platinum. We start the story where a good few years have passed after the events of the original game, and our God of War Kratos still hates the gods for not ridding him of his nightmares and has found a new love for his Spartan brothers, conquering Greece. Athena tries to stop us, but Kratos doesn't give a fuck. The Spartan army are joined by their god, who starts destroying Rhodes, while a bird takes away some of his godly powers and transfers it onto the giant Colossus of Rhodes statue. We have to fight our way through a wave of soldiers and take down this giant monstrosity. One thing I love right away is how we are given the upgraded blades of Athena from the start to kind of showcase what our final moveset will look like, and that we also have access to Poseidon's Rage, the best ability from the previous game. Kratos truly feels like a beast here, and I really love it when he says,
"I am the god of war!"
During this section, we go head on against the giant statue multiple times, destroying half the city in the process, and we are also taught all the basic gameplay mechanics like combat, parkour, and QTEs. Quick time events where we have to press the exact button prompt to execute the action sequence. Also, right at this starting section, we find a special key item which can be used post game and is needed for one of the trophies, but more on that later. We are contacted by the King of Gods himself, who offers us power in the form of his blade. He tells us we'll be able to wield it if we drain our godly powers into the blade. Reaching the blade, we need to continue our battle against the giant while draining our powers into our new weapon. I really like how our health interface changes as we drain our power and that we lose our magic and blade abilities. Kratos finally lifts the blade and slices a hole through the statue in just one slash. We go inside the statue and suck our godly powers back into the blade of Olympus, obliterating the statue. Well, if karma exists in God of War universe, this would be the perfect scene to demonstrate it.
Do you see, gods of Olympus? Do you need more proof than this?
Anyway, we move towards the blade to grab it, just when Zeus reveals himself and takes his blade back.
You? Yes, I am forced to attend to this matter myself.
He gives us an option to serve him for eternity, but Kratos being Kratos refuses him in his own way. And now we gotta fight Zeus, which didn't last too long.
I would rather die.
Zeus shoves the blade through our stomach and wipes out the entire population, witnessing this battle of gods. As we are taken to hell by the hands of Hades, we see the visions of our past, which seems altered, telling us to fight back, kind of like an anime moment. As we open our eyes, we meet the Titan Gaia, the ever-present mother of Earth, who's also the narrator of the game. She offers us help of the Titans to defeat Zeus, and with our remaining power, we heal our wound and escape the grasps of Hades, earning our first trophy. Luckily, there's one Spartan warrior who survived. We ask him to go back to Sparta, and we are aided by Pegasus in our journey towards the Sisters of Fate, who can take us back through time when Zeus betrayed us so that we get our revenge. On our way, we come across a Dark Rider and have to make a quick detour to a mountain where Pegasus gets stuck under the Titan Typhoon's hand, and we get another story trophy here. We are greeted by some old and new enemies alike, and also come across Gorgon Eyes and Phoenix Feathers, which are collectibles to increase our max health and magic meters. And well, there are 2 trophies for collecting all of these. I really like the fact that they reused pretty much all the older enemies from the first game. I think it made for a great variety in this game. I also like the small quality of life improvements in this title, like wall climbing and rope traversal, which are now much faster and smoother. We meet Prometheus next, who's being tortured by Zeus and asks us to free him from his nightmare. Moving forward, we see Typhoon, who doesn't want to help us and tries to blow us away. We jump onto him and blind one of his eyes, stealing away his pain, which is a magical wind bow, unlocking another trophy. This one's similar to the lightning from the first game, and I like that we can move while aiming the arrows. Another quality of life change in this game is the quick weapon upgrades. Gosh, it took some time to upgrade the weapons in the first game. Anyway, we get an easy trophy here for making our first weapon upgrade. We go back to Prometheus and shoot him down into the fires of Olympus, which frees him from his mortal body. And from his ashes, we gain another new ability, which is the Rage of the Titans. Using this ability makes us feel big, tough, buff and rough. Using the Rage ability, we free our horsey and continue back our journey towards the island of creation. On our way, we are again greeted by some griffin enemies and the Black Rider, and the animations here are just fucking amazing. I mean, look at that. Bojack gets hit and we jump across the rider's griffin, taking them both down, and we fall towards the temple of Lachesis. Lachesis. We are greeted by some more enemy types and the new takedown animations are just perfect. Similar to the first game, we are shown the backstory of the Titans and Zeus in fragments, and we learn how Kronos would eat all his kids and how Zeus's mother saved him. My only question while watching this cutscene was, how did they manage to make kids? Anyways, we come across a new variety of Cerberus and Siren enemies and make it till the Steeds of Time. I love the old fixed camera angle, which is great during both the combat and cinematic sequences, which can lead to some great visual compositions. Traversing through this area, we meet Theseus, who's the keeper of the horses. He's quite cocky in saying that he can beat us with ease since we are no longer a god, and so he challenges us for a battle. In the first phase of this fight, we need to fight him on the ground, and the second phase has him retreat to a higher ground where we need to shoot him down with our bow. Finally, we grab him and literally beat the fuck out of him, gaining the key to the steeds and earning a trophy for taking care of the first batch of bosses. Up next, we meet Kronos, who gives us his power to help in our journey, which is basically a replacement for Poseidon's Rage from the previous game. Using it gets us another easy trophy. This is my favorite magic in the game as it lets us get big combos with ease, even if we get hit a couple of times. I used it to get a 500 hit plus combo, which unlocked supersized. We need to do a bit of parkouring in order to free the horses and have to give them a good whip to wake them up, which unlocks another trophy. They then pull the island towards the temple. We have to backtrack our way now and gain the Amulet of Fates, which lets us slow down time for a brief moment whenever we find a statue of the Fates. We come face to face with Lachesis, who says no to us even before asking for anything. And here's how we respond.
Your soul will never find peace for what you have become.
I am what the gods have made me.
Kratos.
Our way forward is blocked by another one of the statues of fate, and we have to fight through a wave of cyclopses and boars in order to progress further. We destroy the statue's eyes and start moving towards the Bog of the Forgotten, where we are attacked by the reanimated barbarian general who we killed thanks to Ares. This fight was interesting as we have to first take out his horse and then fight him while he summons his dead brethren. A really nice Easter egg or God of War insider joke is the dead ship captain's soul, which makes a return only to get obliterated right away. By beating the general, we gain his hammer, which I rarely use. Back on track, we reach the temple of Euryale, who's Medusa's sister, and I love the aesthetics of this area. I don't know why, but I always find the creepy swampy environment really cool in video games. We also come across these new enemy types called the Beast Lords, who can summon on Cyclops and hop onto them. We can either eliminate them quickly before they get control of the Cyclops or grab them out of control to make our lives easier. Performing a takedown grab on the Cyclops, Kratos grabs and tears down their eyeball. We need to collect a total of 20 eyes in order to get a trophy. This can be a bit of a grind as there's not many Cyclopses in the story mode, so we'll have to rely on the challenge mode, but more on this later. More new enemy types are introduced as we progress, like these warriors who can throw bombs at us and this giant stone minotaur which is like a tank. We also go through various puzzles and platforming sections in this area, and completing most of this place gets us another story trophy. We meet this soldier on our way who says one of his comrades has the golden flea, which is the key to Medusa's temple. Well, we say our thanks in a very polite way. The guy with the fleas is dead thanks to a Cerberus, and we need to put the dog down to get the fleas back. This unlocks another story trophy and unlocks the ability to parry basically 90% of the incoming attacks in the game. Also, I love how we can reverse the gaze of the Gorgons to instantly freeze everyone and crush them. Entering the temple of Euryale gets us another story trophy, and we are introduced to some new and old enemies alike here. The Legionnaire Captain enemies are back and they're annoying as ever. I also love these big hellish minotaur guys. They kind of give me that Doom vibe. Any hoot, we get attacked by Euryale, who legit felt like a boss comparing her fight with Medusa. Despite her thicker appearance, she's quite swift and can shatter us literally. I guess my biggest advice for this fight would be to not jump too much, as one shot of that stone beam can kill you in the air. She shared the same fate as her sister and got a place in one of Kratos' back pockets. This gets us another easy trophy, and we get back the ability to freeze them enemies. On our way back out of the temple, we face a couple of puzzles, waves of enemies, and also find this uber chest, which gives a huge amount of red orbs. Well folks, this is another one of the 3 collectible items which are needed for a trophy, so I was making sure to keep an eye out for them. Using our golden fleece, we destroy one of the paths which was blocked earlier and are sort of stopped again thanks to another one of those laser beams from the statue, and we have to find another one of those shield statues to block the beam. Yeah, that kind of sounded way too much. In this area, we are introduced to these priest enemies who can steal our magic and can summon waves of enemies. We also get the title of Stoner for stoning 30 enemies. After some more action and traversal, we meet Perseus, who's on a journey of his own to find the sisters. He challenges us to a very unnecessary fight, and we have to take him out next. This fight was interesting as he uses his mask to turn invisible and uses different tools to fight us. Taking him out gets us his shield, which is needed to block the laser beam, and we unlock another trophy for beating another batch of bosses. Using the shield and our golden fleece, we successfully destroy the statue's gaze and move forward. We find the weapon carried by the Dark Rider, who we defeated earlier in the game, and also get another post-game collectible item. We need to swing across a collapsing bridge, which Loki made me feel like Spider-Man. Completing this section unlocks another story trophy. Up next, we meet Icarus, who seems to have gone crazy, searching for the sisters. He starts attacking us, and well, we need to beat the fuck out of him while we are falling towards the end of the world. We rip off his wings and use it to fly to safety while he falls off to hell. We gain the ability to glide and another easy trophy. We are basically at the end of the world, and we see Atlas holding the world on his shoulders. We travel inside this cave which seems like the insides of Atlas and fight through a wave of enemies, and well, remove a stone for him, getting another trophy. We have to break his chains to escape this hell before hell. He grabs us and isn't very happy to see us, as a lot happened the last time we met. As we are almost getting crushed between his fingers, Kratos says that he's with the Titans now and against Zeus. We are shown the story of the great war between the Titans and the gods, where Atlas gets captured by Hades saving Kronos, and Zeus uses the Blade of Olympus to one-shot everyone. Atlas gives us his last remaining power, and using it gets us another trophy. He drops us at the Palace of Fate, and our final test to the sisters is close. But before moving forward inside the palace, we must face a wave of beast lords and cyclops, and clearing this earns us another trophy. Inside the palace, we need to complete a few tasks and make a few sacrifices in order to gain an audience with the sisters. The first task has us protect this high priest, only to bash his head against the stone tablet to sacrifice him. Completing this, we get the ram key and can use it to unlock another set of challenges, like this one where we need to kill all the enemies before getting crushed by the spikes, sacrificing a couple of sirens, melt down this frozen room using the sunlight and flamethrower statue. Completing this area gets us what you got on the heart plate, and we also collect all the phoenix feathers, getting go make a pillow. I also noticed something really cool which I never realized. They did reuse the old enemy assets but added some new moves, like this one where Kratos tries to push back the Minotaur's axe swing. The OG Cerberus and Pups make a return too, and we collected all the Gorgon eyes, getting I can't believe it. The next main challenge is interesting as it has another priest sacrifice. However, he jumps off to death and we can use this gate which rewinds time to grab the priest before he jumps off. We make another easy sacrifice which gets us another trophy, and the phoenix statue opens its wings. We are tasked to free the phoenix within for our final test. We also open another uber chest which makes our health bar go. During this trial, I found the final Uber chest which unlocked, the Germans make good stuff. We find the phoenix ashes and drop it into the lava which resurrects the bird. However, it's now trapped by this lava, but we blow it off using a horn which gets us rise and shine. On our way back to the bird, we are in this dark room and have to face a warrior who turns out to be the Spartan who was at the Battle of Rhodes at the start of the game. Turns out Zeus went to Sparta and destroyed it, and now Kratos is literally the last remaining Spartan. Kratos is angry and is pretty much done with the gods and their tricks. We get captured by this big octopus monster and see a vision of our dead wife who motivates us to fight back. We get a rage power upgrade and have to take down this octopus. This fight has us use the body of our dead friend to release the steam vent so that we can fly to the octopus's face and finish him off. We push the octopus off the bridge and nail him to the contraption. We then ride the phoenix onto the main temple of fates. After breaking through the entrance, we finally gain an audience with Lachesis, who basically tells us to fuck off, and of course, we gotta fight her. This is one of the best cinematic boss fights in the God of War series. The first phase has us face Lachesis, who has a couple of ground slashes, projectile moves, and aerial combos. In the second phase, she summons her sister, Atropos, who grabs us and takes us back through time when we were fighting Ares. She aims to destroy the sword, which gained us the victory against Ares, which will kill both our past and present. We need to fight off a wave of enemies and beat her off to save the Great Sword. I really love that they added this extra cutscene that if we fail, both versions of Kratos die. Any hoot, we successfully beat her and are back to the present while she's locked in the past. The final phase of this fight has us fight Lachesis again while Atropos tries to get back through the mirror, and we need to use the slow time ability to destroy the mirrors. Kratos pushes them both in the past and destroys all the mirrors, locking them up for good. Up next comes a long fight sequence where we have to face off against a large wave of enemies, one after another. Completing this section in under 10 minutes gets us a gold trophy. We are in the loom chamber where Clotho, the final sister, controls the thread of fate for all humans, titans, and even gods. This section is like a combination of a boss fight and puzzle, as we need to make our way to the top of the chamber, and Clotho is like a giant worm with multiple arms, molds, and breasts. We make it to the top and have to fight her off using our time abilities and finish her using one of the axe swinging contraptions in the area, which gets us another trophy for taking care of the third batch of bosses. With all the three sisters out of the picture, we turn back time when Zeus shoved his blade inside us and pushed him, taking back the blade of Olympus. We fly high in the clouds fighting Zeus and land on a summit. We need to fight the giant Zeus and drain off his energy using the blade in the first phase. The second has us go one-on-one against him, where he can take back his blade and we need to take it off him again. During the final phase, Kratos pretends to give up, only to almost finish him when his guard's down. I said almost because Athena intervenes in this battle and we get another story trophy here. She sacrifices herself as Zeus makes an escape and tells us that Zeus is our father and none of the Olympians will support us in our quest to kill him, as if Kratos cares. We travel back through time to save the Titans during the Great War and use them to declare the Second Great War. I love this whole cutscene as Zeus is giving his speech to unite the gods while Kratos is atop Gaia challenging the gods. This was the exact sequence where Santa Monica Studios sold God of War 3 and the PlayStation 3 to me as a kid. Also, this finishes the main story and we get another trophy for completing the game. Okay, so I checked the number of remaining trophies and there were a total of 5 more trophies remaining, which were Eyesore, Blowing Your Wad, Feel the Urn, Bleeding Thumbs, and that Shining Platinum. I quickly started the challenge of the Titans as 2 of the trophies can be unlocked in this mode. The first challenge has us rip out the eye of a Cyclops before the time runs out, which was super easy. One good thing about this challenge mode is that we can save our progress unlike the first game's challenge mode. We loaded this challenge back like 16 times to collect 20 eyeballs, getting Eyesore. The rest of the challenges were fairly easy except for the last one, which requires a bit of patience and good RNGs. We need to take out all the enemies without taking a single hit, which can be tricky because of the big guy and because of the beast lords and priests in the second round. After some attempts, I cleared this section, getting Bleeding Thumbs. For Feel the Urn trophy, we need to use the urns that we unlocked during the story playthrough on New Game Plus. I used the experience outfit and Urn of Gaia to quickly gain them red orbs needed for the weapon upgrades. Completing all the upgrades gets us Blowing Your Wad and that Shining Platinum. It was a really quick, fun and nostalgic experience replaying this game. I'm in the process of making my own game which has PS1 style aesthetics. So while replaying God of War 2, I really learned a lot in terms of animation, tricks and game design in general. I love this game, and for anyone who has not played it, do give it a try, as this might just compel you too into playing God of War 3. Anyway, if you made it this far into the video and liked it, then please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel as it really motivates me to make more content, and comment below any good recommendations. With that said, I'm out. Bye bye.